Hey there, everybody. This is Jeremy. I'm not doing too well, as you can probably tell, um, but I wanted to talk about Mrs. Flood from the Church on Ruby Road. So, at the end of the episode, she turns to camera after Abdul's gone and says, "Ever seen a TARDIS before?" Now, that's knowledge that she can't have if she was just a normal human, just a neighbor of Ruby's. But there's a few possibilities. One, the Doctor and Ruby encounter Mrs. Flood when she's younger and she learns about the TARDIS, she learns about the Doctor and time travel and all that, and then she can reference it later. I don't think this is quite likely, considering that she does not know what the TARDIS is until it dematerializes. And so I don't think that she's had any personal experience with the Doctor and Ruby. Um, which kind of rules out her being a Time Lord adversary of the Doctor that has met them before. Like the Ronnie, for instance, which I have also seen going around. Uh, the Ronnie also wouldn't work because, one, Pip and Jane Baker are dead and they have no clear heir to their estate, and so finding the person to ask about the rights would be incredibly complicated. Um, also, I've heard, speaking of Time Lords, Susan wouldn't work for the same reason. She would have recognized the TARDIS. You know she would have. And of course she could be putting on an act. But even then, if Russell brings Susan back, that means that he'll have to decanonize the Eighth Doctor audios because I don't think that they're allowed to mention Alex Campbell and the things that go on in those audiobooks. And if they are, that will be incredibly alienating to a new audience because this is being branded as a complete reboot of Doctor Who. And yes, Russell has said that the continuity matters and that he knows that people will go back and look stuff up, but I don't think an obscure Big Finish audio from the 1990s or early 2000s, apologies, will actually influence his writing decisions. Um, and I don't think people would be willing to go that deep into the lore in order to understand the show. Uh, Also, if it's not Susan, like I said, it probably can't be any returning Time Lords. I think it might be a godlike being like the Toymaker. I think Mrs. Flood is a benevolent being. I think that Mrs. Flood is not a character who is evil. I think that she is a godlike character uh, because she has all this knowledge. But another thing makes me think that at the very end, when she winks, there is a very high pitched ringing, like a ting. And you know who else had that? The Toymaker. The Toymaker had that just a few episodes, just the last episode. The Toymaker did that when he winked. Maybe that's a tell of extra dimensional beings in Doctor Who. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Um, I don't know if any of them are going to be correct. I hope that Russell just surprises us all with something that we did not see coming. Anyway, hope you have a very happy New Year's celebration, and I can't wait to see the new series in May.